All employers I know want their employees to take them seriously. This means they want their employees to believe what comes out of their mouths. To have this happen, you have to be seen as authentic in your company. Authenticity means you walk your talk. Not only do you talk a good game, but your actions back it up. The truth is, your employees don't really listen to what you say. They watch what you do. This was a huge problem I had in my early business career. I wasn't seen as authentic by my employees. In fact, my employees saw me as a giant fraud. The reason was simple. I would spout platitudes and then never back them up with my actions. We get frustrated because we're not seen as authentic. We know something is wrong, we just don't know what it is, and our employees never tell us. So if you want to be believed, you must walk your talk. You must do what you say you're going to do, and if you don't, no one in your company will trust or believe you. I've done this wrong way too many times. I thought it mattered what I said. I never realized how much not being congruent with what I said hurt me and the company. So I want to talk about personal responsibility for a second, because that is my core value. And the journey that I took to get there was a pretty painful one. At first I was at this seminar and I realized how important personal responsibility was. And I went back running to my company after it was over and I started talking about personal responsibility all over the place. There was a problem with that. I wasn't being personally responsible myself. I was expecting everybody to be personally responsible, but here I was blaming others for when things went wrong or justifying my actions to try to explain my way out of it. Well, when I was saying that, none of the people in my company believed a word I said because my actions did not back up my words. Now, over a period of a few years, I finally got it, that I can't just say it, I actually have to do it, and I started doing it, and I did it at a level that was pretty extreme for 3 or 4 years, and finally, people started taking me seriously when I started talking about personal responsibility. And the company changed for the better, so much for the better that I can't even really explain how much better it was. It was like going from 0 to 95 in a period of a few years. The difference in the company was amazing. Now, I believe that personal responsibility is the key to any company moving forward. It doesn't have to be one of your core values. But if you don't take responsibility for what goes on in your company, how can you get others to take responsibility for what they do? So if you want to develop a culture of personal responsibility, it's pretty simple. Number one, decide that you want to become personally responsible in your company and, for that matter, your life. Making that decision is the first step. Sometimes it's the hardest step to take because we don't tell ourselves the truth. Which brings us to step number 2. Take a hard look in the mirror and see if that's what you're actually doing. I know that when I started off and I said, gee, I'm going to be personally responsible, it didn't happen. I took a look in the mirror and I saw myself as this great. Because I was saying it, I must be doing it. And then finally, after 6 months or 7 months or 8 months of this, I said, this isn't working very well. Maybe you should take a harder look at yourself. And that's when I realized that I was blaming and justifying. Even though I was talking a good game, I wasn't doing the good game. And number 3, be honest with your stakeholders about where you really are. If you're working on it, let others know this is a work in progress. If you're just beginning, say that also. But if you're really, really doing it, you don't need to say anything about what you're doing because people are going to see that you're doing it. They're going to watch your actions, and your actions are going to back up your words. So if you follow these 3 simple rules, you'll find that people start taking you seriously. You can also use this method for any value that's important to you in your business, or for that matter, your life. Following these 3 steps allows you to be seen as authentic, and more importantly, you'll be walking your talk and people will trust you. I would love to have a conversation with you about this, so feel free contacting me at jpatrick@stage2planning.com to set up a time for us to talk. In the meantime, if you're not ready to talk, Download our free ebook on relationships and roles in your business. You might find that you should be spending your time in a completely different way than how you're living your life now. And while you're at it, scroll down and let me know what you think about holding on to the wisdom you have and the relationships you have. Hey, this is Josh Patrick. You're at The Sustainable Business. Thanks a lot for stopping by. I hope to see you back here really soon.